Hey, I'm Lex, and we're big fans of Pokemon around here. Moreover, we're big fans of completely reasonable and totally necessary challenges. Pokemon Generation 9 Scarlet and Violet did something that I both love and hate, completely removing random battles and forced trainer fights. So, let's put the latter back into play. I wanted to see just how much prize money I could earn by battling every single trainer in Pokemon Scarlet. And, Nemona, like 17 times, let's be real. Just how much money can be earned this way? Well, I guess let's find out. First and foremost, we're gonna need a handsome lad to lead us in our journey. And that's the ticket. All gold. Pretty sure the Pokédollar is solid gold, so this makes perfect sense. Don't think about it. Hair done, nail done, everything did. Secondly, we're gonna need a team. Entrepreneurs, if you will. Money makers, toll tankers. A full team of Pokemon good as gold to match our suave due. Our starter is going to be hot swapped for the level 5 Gimmighoul right next to the lighthouse at the very start of the game. And if you know anything about me, you know that I am a sucker for shinies, but guess what isn't going to be shiny? This level 5 Gimmighoul, because the only way to shinify that fellow is by cheating. Gimmighoul chest form was only available as shiny through limited time events in Pokemon Go and Scarlet and Violet Terror Raids at a 1 in 4,096 odds. And guess who didn't get either of those? This guy. But, I mean, dude, look at the difference between the two. Oh, no, whoops, those are swapped. Let me just fix that, there we go. And you didn't notice at all, so regular Gimmighoul will do just fine. Our second team member will go ahead and adopt in the South Province Area 1 as well, a shiny gold Fiddle Kricketot, appropriately leveled at level 10, who will evolve immediately at level 11. Fun fact, which I may be making up so it may not be a fact at all, but Kricketot and Kricketune are based off of fiddles. Their golden shiny may be a nod to the song The Devil Went Down to Georgia by the Charlie Daniels Band. It makes sense as the fiddle in the song is golden, and Nemona would be, that's right, the devil. Yeah. As far as notable trainers in this area, there aren't too many. You've got the first Nemona and the first Arven battle, which aren't difficult, but are important for story progression. Later in the area, you've got Nemona 2 and what I guess I'll call the Black Label trainers, who are significantly over-level trainers for their area. Our first and only S1 Black Label trainer is Black Belt Alejandro. And I guess I'll show notable teams. I feel like animating every single team in every single battle is, well, a lot. Anyway, defeating Nemona 2 and Alejandro brings our total Poke-Yen? Dollar? Cash money to 6,844 for South Province Area 1. And speaking to the Pokemon League rep, outside the Mesagoza South Gate also grants us the TM for Thunder Wave for having defeated enough trainers in S1. Moving on to Mesagoza, we battle 2 Team Rocket, 2 Team Star grunts and Jackson the Student, and ignore Paco the Cabbie for an additional 1,500 Pokédollars. After the mandatory 2 hours of introduction, we're given free reign, and the first place we're going to go is the Kitakami region, where we're going to grab our third team member, a Golden Retriever-esque Poochyena. Another fun fact for you that's not necessarily any fun, the first time I ever played Pokemon Ruby way back in the before times, the Poochyena that chased Professor Birch was that nice gold and yellow color, which seemed totally normal and natural until thereafter every Poochyena was gray and black. After that realization, that event will never not haunt me. With Puppo secured, we're going to sprint out of the DLC area because we are not wanting to tackle that just yet. We'll be back, but first we've got the whole mess that is the main game to contend with. Back at Mesagoza, we're going to take the West Gate. We are headed towards the recommended first gym leader, Katie, who loves to use bug types, and tackling all the trainers along Area 2 of the Southern Province on the way. Just like with S1, trainers in S2 mostly use just 1 Pokemon each, making our team of 3 look that much more powerful. That is until we get to the Black Label Trainer for S2. The Courier Angel on Hell? Unsure exactly how it's pronounced because there is no voice acting in this masterpiece from a multi-billion-dollar company. What I am sure about is that this courier uses triple the Pokemon, all of which are almost double the level of his fellow S2 trainers. A Psyduck, Mastiff, and Mudbray team may not seem like much of a threat, but we're attempting this without a single loss. If we lose a battle, any battle, we lose money. Even if it's to a wild Pokemon. Yeah, even those cute little Sunkerns will turn you upside down and shake the lunch money from your pockets. So we'll be saving pretty frequently, especially in front of these harder than usual trainers. The Pokemon League rep will give us our battle prize, the TM for Aerial Ace, and we'll head to the gym to tackle Katie and her marvelous bug muffins. Wait, what are we talking about? Pokemon, of course, don't be weird. The fight with Katie isn't anything special. She uses a bunch of low-level bugs, and we aren't exactly subject to any restrictions. Besides, must be gold-colored Pokemon. I mean, shiny Sunkern could be kinda Who said that? Get out of here, man. Shut up. You shut up. We do lose Poochyena to an unlucky crit, but clean up with Kricketune pretty succinctly, earning ourselves the first badge of many and an additional 2,700 Pokédollars, bringing our S2 earnings to 12,808. Keeping counting simple, we'll be moving back east into Mesagoza and then out the eastern gate into the South Province Area 3, home to Red Rock and slightly above the previous area's trainers. Poochyena also receives a major boost, evolving early into this area. Several trainers start using more than just one Pokemon and start allowing middle stage evolution. Just kidding, 2 of them do that. Really difficult battles, Game Freak. Appreciate the challenge. And this area's black level trainer is a student named Clara. With a Hoppip, Barboach, and Salandit, she's got a pretty balanced team with a lot of type coverage. But my newly evolved Mightyena is more bark than bite. But bite still does pretty good damage. Get it? Alright. Kricketune trades blow for blow with Hoppip, but it will eventually bring out Mightyena to clean up the battle. So, Cloth is also in this area, marking the first Titan of 5. I did record that battle, which, wasn't very difficult of a battle, but more importantly than that, was a totally non-lucrative interaction. And as you know, life is meaningless if it's not monetized. So, we're learning Sprint and moving on. Next, we'll grab our prize from the Pokemon League rep for defeating trainers in Area 3, the Shell Bell, that I totally remembered to get and didn't just re-record me going to get it hundreds of hours later. Lastly, we're going to take on Brassius, the second gym leader, who is technically part of East Province Area 1, but it's better for video composition if I show him now. So, welcome to South Area 3, Brassius. Time to change your street address. Enjoy the HOA, idiot. And on the technical side of the battle, Fury Cutter times 4. Yep, that's it. Kricketune really proving to be the meta in this 384 base stat total. That's pretty good, right? What? It's actually the worst for evolved Pokemon besides Shedinja, who has 1 HP? Hot damn. Get wrecked, Brasshole. South Area 3's trainers and the new-to-you Brassius edition net us another 21,368 Pokepesos. Counting, it turns out, is real hard, so we're sprinting back through Mesagoza and heading out west to our first non-southern province, Western Province Area 1 to be exact. This illustrious, picturesque mountainscape is home to wondrous things called wind turbines, not windmills, but like windmills, they moved at about -6 FPS in the Switch 1 version of the game. Thankfully, the only 2 things that needed fixing were fixed for the Switch 2 re-released version. West 1 starts us off by being our first area with more than one Black Label trainer, I'm guessing just due to its overall size. Our Black Label trainers for this region are Cabby, Oriole, and the model Candina. Oriole fittingly has a Corvisquire and a Squawkabilly, both of which are seen in conjunction with the flying cab system, basically the fast travel system, of Paldea. Candina using the less thematically obvious Oinkalone and Luxio. My only guess is that Oinkalone has really, really great lashes, and Luxio has a dapper do in its own right. Also in West 1 is Titan Fight number 2 with Bombardier. Doesn't give any money, so no screen time awarded here, but we do get that tasty, big jump? Maybe swimming. Swimming sounds right, but I'm not going to double check until well after this has been voiced over. So, hey, future me, do your homework, okay? Thanks. And for taking on enough trainers in West Area 1, the Pokemon League representative awards us with an item that I did not know existed before this challenge, the Clear Amulet. And I love that I'm still learning things after probably like 20 hours. Probably like 20 hours or so in these games. Now, I probably should have said this a little earlier in the video, but confusing everyone now will do just fine because it will probably, very likely, come up again. I apologize if I butcher some of the trainer names that I am unfamiliar with. I'm just a good old swamp boy, and we don't read too good. That being said, West 1 gives us our first rendezvous with Team Star and Gigi Rockin' Mamano, the Dark-type Team Star wielder. Nothing at all too crazy about this gent. We've got bug moves from Kricketune and Mightyena, who is durable enough to tank moves that are super effective as well. And, that other guy. We'll get to him. He'll be around, I promise. Wrapping up West Province Area 1 nets us another... Wait, what the fuck do you mean Team Star doesn't give us money? Are you for real? LP? The fuck is that? Man. Alright, West 1 gives us 31,432 actual money and 5k made-up loser butthole points, or whatever the acronym stands for. I guess the LP translates directly to Pokédollars in terms of how much of it is spent when in shops, so sure, we'll count it. Seems like a totally pointless extra currency in that regard, though. So 36,432 then. Next up, we're headed back to the south with the South Area 5, and if it seems totally random, trust me, I'm doing this in order of trainer difficulty. Maybe. I mean, you'll never check. S5 has very few notable things in it, a dozen or so regular trainers, and technically two Black Label trainers in the form of a waitress named Sophia, who brandishes an Indeedee, a Azumarill, and Gulpin, and Nerea way on top of a mountain with her Sudowoodo, Lycanroc, and Sneasel. A little bit of fluff to pad this area's runtime is that it is home to one of my favorite Pokemon in general, and I think my favorite shiny, Seviper. And I guess that beach that Sophia hangs out on is also home to a contender for my Goldilocks team, a black-gold Sandygast with his little golden shovel. But ultimately, I thought it just didn't seem gold enough, and we moved on. Oh, and also to note, Nerea the Hiker, the other Black Label trainer, requires the climbing ability from the 5th Titan fight. Or maybe it doesn't, but I damn sure tried for over an hour to make it happen without coming back way later in the run. Anyways, sorry about all that, but ultimately, South Area 5 trainers net us another 23,356 Pokédollars. Oh, whoops, we also visit the Pokemon League rep for our battle prize of an Eviolite. Moving slightly northeast to East Province Area 1 and to the technical area that Artisan and Brassius are in, but don't you worry, I thought about him a lot while I was in this area. East 1 has quite a bit of stuff going on. I find a shiny Deerling, which, quite frankly, is the most hyped shiny Pokemon to stumble across a shiny of. Really hope Deerling can get the Lightning Rod ability because I sense a Lightning Strike in my near future. You know, for all the sick truths that I'm spitting, of course. Anywho, this area also comes equipped with 2 more Black Label trainers, neither of which require the climb ability. The student Xavier with his team of Kirlia, Zangoose, and Noibat, and up on the cliff tops, the office worker Mario with his Murkrow, Houndoom, and Croagunk. neither of which proved to be much of a match for Mightyena, whose dig is super effective to Houndoom and Croagunk, and on everyone else uses Assurance, parenthetical derogatory. We are also granted a loaded dice from the Pokemon League rep for being such good upstanding chaps in this area. Team Whiny Butthole Ain't Got No Money Stars, Mila is last up in Area 1 and uses fire types. She uses a Torkoal and we use Dig, and even though we outlevel it significantly, and Dig is super effective, Torkoal still takes forever to go down due to his massive defense. Car 2 also takes a while to go down due to its bulk and Mightyena's attack being halved thanks to a burn. And another burn. And another burn. Eventually we're granted no money and a handshake and 6,000 more loser points, bringing our East 1 total to 29,212 actual Poke-whatevers and 6,000 government-issued Pokebonds. Just over the river lies East Province Area 2 and has a few things to talk about as well. Another beach filled with me wanting to stop and look for Sandygast, and the first of what I think I'll call the unhinged Black Label trainers. Anas? Anus. This pint-sized turd has exactly 2 Pokemon that know exactly 2 moves total. Return and Return. Anas is programmed to use only Return on both his low kicks and his Rufflet, and wildly, this strategy proved really difficult to beat for previous challenge runs with Sunkern and Lechonk. Not so big of a deal when we're the one doing the bullying. Why don't you return to the ocean, Anas? This area also has a second Black Label trainer, a dragon tamer named Rebecca, with a team of Skrelp, Swablu, and Gumi, the not poison type. She's not overly difficult, but getting to her can be a little not so undifficult. She hangs out on top of a plateau that needs either flight, glide, or climb. Or just backwards slope jumping. Yeah, we're gonna do that one. Nemona is also programmed to harass you in your next entered gym after you obtain 2 badges, and she's pretty good at stalking, so she knows. And I think maybe for the first time in a video I've ever released, I beat Nemona 3. Nemona's still rocking her Palmy, but has evolved her starter in this battle for me, Crocolore. Oh, that's a and has added a Rockruff to the top of her roster. Mightyena used Dig, and then Dig. Dig. From the Pokemon League rep this time around, we also get the TM for Stomping Tantrum. Dig. And rounding out the area is Gym Battle 3 against Iono. After spying on an old man and beating the oddly stiff socks off of her fanboys, the fuck is this game about again? We get to the actual battle. And Iono's team is weird. All electric types, sure, but wildly varying power levels. From an unevolved Wattrel, partially evolved Luxio, and then fully evolved Bellabolts and Mismagius Terrid to the electric type. And I know you'll be shocked to hear this, but Mightyena actually solos this whole fight. I know. KOing Iono, receiving our 3rd badge, and defeating Nemona, we are granted a final chunk of prize money for an E2 total of... I don't know, I forgot to add it all up before I started recording this voice line. One moment, please. Okay, I got it. 25,380 Pokédollars. We're headed over to West Area 3, but not for long, just long enough to beat up 6 trainers and snag the prize for the area. So now's a good a time as any to talk about min-maxing. There exists a couple of items that increase the amount of money you receive from in-game battles by 100%. Doubling earned prize money, the Luck Incense, and the Amulet Coin. All incense, including the Luck Incense, were removed from Generation 9's Scarlet and Violet, and all baby Pokemon that corresponded to them now just hatch from eggs. At least from these games. No idea if they'll change that again in the future. But the Amulet Coin is alive and well, and is obtainable pretty early in the game as a prize from the PLR in West Province Area 3. So, what does that have to do with min-maxing? Well, I could have traded any number of amulet coin holding Pokemon to get this coin at the beginning of the game, and could have theoretically had twice as much cash up to this point. But that didn't really feel in the spirit of the scope of this video. I have decided that as a good point to reasonably obtain this coin was when my Pokemon could realistically beat the trainers in West Area 3 around late mid-30s. And from here on out, I'll be doubling the prize money for each defeated trainer. Another thing that will absolutely be a problem later on comes in the form of money-making signature moves. There are two of those. Payday, the signature move of the Meowth line, causes coins to scatter onto the battlefield. Every single use adds a calculated amount of coins onto the battlefield based on your level and if an amulet coin is held. Thankfully, no Pokemon that know Payday or learn it via TM are gold-colored, cause, oh boy, would that be a problem. Unfortunately, Goldango has a 120 base power Steel-type Payday in Make It Rain, and it does the exact same thing but with less PP. I have decided not to add this to my total after every single battle, because I could just stock up on either ethers or elixirs, huff it, and make it rain every time I see a wild Pokemon. And this challenge has to end at some point. One of my absolutely personal favorite biomes is up next, the Asado Desert, and we are long overdue for a new team member if you ask me. So we'll set up shop here for, probably like 15 minutes and hunt for this shiny. Probably won't take a dozen hours or anything stupid. And there he is, the Golden Nugget Rolling Relor, and for very obvious reasons, this man is going onto our team directly. The Asado Desert has another two Black Label trainers, one a student named Raquel, wildly accessible, the other dang old Elias the Mountain Huffer Black Belt, requiring climbing, flight, or gliding, so I had to come back here much later. Raquel's team is phenomenal, with Shellos, bleh, Knacklestack, bleh, and Survivor, baby! Elias also has some pretty cool stacked Pokemon with Breloom and Heracross, and would be phenomenally harder if we could fight him without having to come back with more movement abilities. The Pokemon League rep of the desert gives us, oh wow, Earthquake? That's pretty good. Too bad nobody on my team can use it quite yet. And rounding out the desert is professional wetman himself, Kofu. And I almost feel like Kofu and Iono should be swapped in terms of which one you should battle first, quote-unquote. Iono has 4 Pokemon and most of them are evolved, while Kofu only has 3. Granted, they're all either evolved or don't evolved. With a Veluza, Wugtrio, and Crabominable, we'll try our new buddy Relor. Just kidding, we're gonna swap to a Pokemon that can actually do some damage, Mightyena. With Thunderfang, Veluza, Wugtrio, and Water Terrid Crabominable get one-shot. Oh, just kidding. Mr. Krabs takes 2 Thunderfangs to bring it down. Got you again, didn't I? Kofu and his merry band of wet fellows, and Hugo, don't forget Hugo, grant us another 58,440 Poke something or others. That amulet coin already making some sick moves. Just north of the Asado Desert, we set out to the next zone, West Area 2. A single Black Label you know what? They're BLTs now. A single BLT haunts the cave in the form of Pokemaniac named Michael? Big Mike Little L. With a Charcadet and, a Spiritomb, you don't see that too often. Trying out my new Rabsca, we make quick work of them both, even though, Ghost Dark only has the weakness of Fairy? Back in my day, it didn't. This zone technically houses the Gym Trainer battle for Kofu, so I had a small existential crisis about whether I put it here or put it before Kofu. I think I made the right decision by lumping him in with his Gym Trainer. Other than that, this area is wildly underwhelming. Our Relor did evolve after I remembered how to evolve it. Rabsca is interesting because Relor's speed and attack stay basically the same, but his special attack shoots through the roof. Also, at least in the shiny version, he rubs his aforementioned nugget ball all over him. Ew. From the area's Pokemon League rep, we are also awarded a Focus Sash, and wow, yeah, that's about it for West Area 2. Normally I really like to talk and fluff these places up, but it's just not a lot. With Amulet Coin in tow, West Area 2, though small and relatively sparse, still grants us an additional 36,240 Pokédollars. And after that 2 or 3 area detour, we're back at West Area 3 to finish it off, because that's what professionals do. West 3 had 6 trainers that we already battled without an Amulet Coin, and I'll take that into account. But we're jumping into the BLT of West 3. Alfonso the Courier with an Altaria, Gogoat, and Dreadnought. Nothing too crazy here, as we've had a few more regions to level up in and a significantly stronger team with the addition of Poop Boy. No, not Larry, but we'd need to deal with him as well. I haven't done his gym challenge legitimately since I first played Pokemon Violet back in 1867, whereby you have to defeat 3 gym trainers and take their food prep hint. But we kind of need to do it since it's an all-trainer challenge, even though I know the recipe is, Larry's not too terrible without these guys: Show Sunkern, Komala, Dudunsparce, and any number of normal-typed birds. Staraptor, that's it. You'd think I would remember that one. Jeez. There's no league rep to show this time, already got that coin, but there is a bonus battle with your bestie and mine, Nemona. Her Rockruff, Palmy, and Crocolore have evolved into Lycanroc, Pawtu, and Skeledirge, and her Goomy still out here goomin'. Not an overwhelmingly difficult battle to end off part 2 of our expedition to West 3. Totaling everything up out of that, so part 1, without the Amulet Coin, netted us 14,252. Part 2, where I start to feel like we're taking money from an ugly baby, 108,088. Yeah. Giving us a total of 122,340 for West Area 3. I am tanking Paldea's GDP, one province at a time. Back to the south for Area 4, we've got Jaime. This is him. Good-looking lad hanging out in some sketchy places. Jaime's got an Oricorio, Slowking, and Staravia, much like a sketchy good-looking lad would. Also, youngster Julin. Hulin. I don't know, kid's got a fucking Tadbulb and an Eevee and like $4 grand of walking around money. Quite literally like 4 times the cash of the grown-ups in the area. Who gave him that money? Those gents are the BLT boys of S4. And there is quite phenomenally nothing else in this area besides a Pokemon League rep who gives us a Rocky helmet and isn't even at a Pokemon Center, by the way. There isn't even a Pokemon Center in this entire area, by the way. Gita quite literally dropped his ass off here and then just left him at a broken down, decrepit ruin. Still probably beats my job though. South Area 4's trainers give us another 32,392, and we're out of here. East 3 is our next destination, and I really have a bone to pick with East Area 3. Like, first of all, I think it had the most items of any province. I haven't looked that up, but it really felt like it, and I did a video on that. And another thing, there are 3 Pokemon Centers inside the area, and another 3 directly outside of it. But South 4? Nah, fuck 'em. Also, Zapapico, a word that means spicy shoes, you can trust me. Go ahead and use that knowledge in your day-to-day interactions with real, live human fellow creatures. Zapapico is a town with 2 Pokemon Centers. Not a single thing to do in it, no gym, no battles, not even Nemona. But they need 2 Pokemon Centers. Anyway, E3 has 2 BLTs in the moniker of student named Esther and a hiker named Celia. Esther uses a Sunflora, Masquerain, and Donphan, while Celia rocks a Knuckle Stack. Get it? Rocks a Flareon and a Hariyama. And it took a few minutes to actually track down the Pokemon League rep here. They're at one of Zapapico's Pokemon Centers, and this man gave me a punching glove? Huh? Alright, item number 2 that I've never heard of. We shook down the town outskirts of Zapapico and East 3's GDP by 80,280. Bam! Take that, children and taxpayers of Paldea! Up next and slightly north, Tag Tree Thicket's got just 3 guys in it, and a Team Star fight with my cat Atticus. No, just kidding. Unlike Team Star's Atticus, Team Lax's Atticus is a good boy. But very much like my Atticus, Team Star's Atticus is a penniless peasant. We rob Atticus, the grunts at the gate, and 3 children in the forest, one of which is the BLT, because this area really needed one, for 20,720 Pokédollars and, I don't know, 7,000 Atticoins. Atticus is really into crypto. Leaving out of the Tag Tree Thicket and swinging back over into Zapapico, we're taking the northwest exit to our next destination, the southern side of Glaciado Mountain. This mountain is huge. We break it down into 2, kinda 3 sections. The south side combines, of course, the southern snow-covered tip of the mountain itself, the green mountainous pathway on the way to said tip, the dirt road border, whatever you want to call it, between the snow and the cliff above the Tag Tree Thicket below, and finally, Vibe Cave that goes from West Area 3 through several smaller caves and opens up a couple of places around the South Glaciado region. Something to the tune of 30 trainers run amok in this area, 2 of which are BLTs, Mark the student with his Arcanine, Copperajah, and Colossal, Jesus Christ, man is stacked, and Carolina the artist with her also a problem team of Florges, Bruxish, and Grimmsnarl. We can grab the TM for Blizzard from the South Glaciado Mountain League rep, and you remember how I only have 3 members on my team? Well, just kidding, I actually am supposed to have 4 at this point. That's right, if you look real close, there's been a Gimmighoul there the whole time. I know he hasn't really been featured in an important battle since well, I don't know, but it's been a while. So I got to wondering how many Gimmighouls I was up to. Gimmighoul coins. I have 1 Gimmighoul, that's him. See, Gimmighoul evolves in a weird way. It needs 999 Gimmighoul coins that are scattered quite literally in every corner of the game, or from battling other chest forms. The roaming ones usually drop a very small amount, but can rarely drop up to 200. Chest forms can drop between 10 and 777. I've been passively gathering these coins whenever I would come across them, and at Grush's doorstep, I checked to see how many I had gathered. Huh. Okay. Be right back. We grab one last coin from Jaime Sketchy Clubhouse in South 4, and welcome to the Team Goldango. Also, yeah, gonna lump Grusha in here as well since he's part of this province, and I don't want to have to come back. Plus, I'm feeling pretty confident with our new mac and cheese monster. Bulka's... Bulka? Who the fuck is Bulka? Grusha's team is pretty bulky. A Frostmoth who can set up, a Beartic, Bart, Satitan with the thickness, and Altaria with the Terra, but we're getting pretty beefed up ourselves at this point. Goldingo leads and could have soloed easily, but I let every team member take a turn beating this man up. After trudging through the trainers in Mountain Part 1, paying off the Gimmighoul mob boss, and curb stomping Grusha, parenthetical derogatory, we're awarded with an additional 147,040. Parenthetical derogatory. Am I doing that right? Just north continues to the rest of Mount Snowcrap and is a much easier experience. There's only 2 BLTs on this side of the mountain. Ignacio the scientist with his Magnezone, Hypno, and Muck. Fun fact, Ekin spelled backwards is demonetization. And Manuela the hiker and her team of Camerupt, Dedenne, and Veluza. Not too much of an issue. Rhyme, Cooler Sister of Time, who you definitely remember, is the gym leader of Monday Nevernaw. Like Larry, 3 of the battles for the region are actually her gym trainers. We'll knock those out before taking her on. Also present in Memphis Tenana'a, the Hyper Trainer guy. Usually Rhyme represents Gym 6, and 6 badges are required to purchase bottle caps from Delibird Presents. We're already at 6 badges and the required level 50 thanks to our team being both metaphorically and actually gold. But I don't think we'll really need it. Oh, yeah, this is my gym, quote-unquote, 7, so Nemona's here too and suggests a battle upon us before we take on Rhyme and her team. She's got her Lycanroc still, and further evolved Paw 3 and Sliggoo, and of course her A Skeledirge. You can tell her no, but I choose of my own free will to give her the battle for the sheer thrill of it. That's a lie, as is the illusion of free will. Nemona refuses your refusal. Nemona is absolute. Also, it gives us another 30k, so yeah, we'll go ahead and do it. Anyway, speaking of Rhyme, her and her gym trainers are all double battles. I think the only 4 double battles in the base game. No, actually, I take that back. I know they are. I know they are the only double battles in the base game. Spoilers, I guess. Her team of Mimikyu, Banette, Houndstone, and Hypnotoad are awesome and not at all much of a threat. Goldango is just actually a good Pokemon, and I'm not quite used to being allowed to use good Pokemon. After earning our 6th, 7th badge, and beating the rest of the Pant, singular, off the trainers on the mountain, and Nemona, we are awarded 156,152 Pokédollars. What's that? Pokemon League rep for North Glaciato? I don't know, man. I think technically the one that counts for Glaciato Mountain was the one we talked to for Blizzard, but he's right outside Grush's gym, so I counted that in with South Glaciato. There's another guy in the underground Pokemon Center who gives a black belt, so I'll tell you what. You can think about him. Here he is. All right, that's enough. That's all. Stop it. Stop it. We're moving on. We are finally going to finish the southern areas with South 6. S6 is a 2-parter with over half the area's trainers, including one of the BLTs, Hiker Daniela, taking up residence in the ginormous cave system that makes up the underside of the Area 6 plateau. Daniela's team, much like Daniela, reeks of dirt, a Hippowdon and a Lycanroc. The other BLT, Eric the Worker, is up top and outside with a Luxray and Electros. Other than that, as well as a few gym trainers and a truly awe-inspiring minigame we're allowed to play before actually getting into our final gym, nothing too noteworthy. As a gym leader and a very much required battle, though I guess every battle is required for what I am doing, but I mean for story progression, not just 101 dumb ways to play Pokemon. Though, after icing Grusha and ghosting Rhyme, God, what the fuck is wrong with me? Tulip isn't all that bad, is what I'm saying. She's rocking a Farigarath, a Gardevoir, an Espatra, and a Florges, who gets Terrid, and this might be the most powerful my team has ever been versus a gym leader. Literally every single one of my Pokemon is a good matchup against hers here. Mightyena and Goldango are respectively Dark and Ghost, and Kricketune and Rabska are both Bug. And fun fact, but Psychic is weak to Dark, Ghost, and Bug because the Psychic type is based on the mind, or more accurately, the Psyche, and those are extremely common fears. But that's going to wrap up South Area 6, and no surprise to Nemona this time. Very sad about that. But from the trainers down below and the trainers up top, as well as the trainers at the gym and Tulip herself, we're granted another 139,664 Atacoins. What, really? Oh, good job, buddy. Really coming up in the world. Finishing up this god-dang old mountain is North Province Area 3, the Flowery Fairy area on the north coast. There's only a handful of trainers in this part of the world, and only one of them's a BLT. Tatiana the musician with her Wigglytuff, Kricketune, and Grumpig. Quite the chatette to include my goat, Kricketune, and it didn't do her no good either. Not a lot going on in the great colorful north of Paldea. My first ever shiny was Fido, which has nothing to do with this area, but my second, third, and fourth shiny were all Ice-Q. I stayed here for a while. But I mean, just look at them. How could you not? Pokemon League rep for this area grants us the TM for Leaf Storm, and the 4th member of Team Star is out here as well. Ortega uses fairy types, and his favorite color is pastel pink. Lot like Ice-Q, you say? Yes, indeed. He rocks an Azumarill, who survives a hit from Goldango, and a Dotsbun, Wigglytuff, and lifted 1996 Honda Civic that do not. And you may be shocked to hear this, but Ortega is filthy stinkin' rich. Or his parents are, at least. No, really, that's the lore. But Ortega ain't giving us none of that. We get the sassiest selfie I have ever seen and earn another 47,944 generic currency and 10,000 delinquency dollars. Next up is North Area 1 in the middle of North Area 2 and 3 because numbers are dangerous. Don't learn them, don't even think about them. Just north of Tag Tree Thicket, there is effectively nothing going on in the entire area. But there are 3 BLTs, all Dragon Tamers, Paloma, Diana, and Gemma, respectively using Noivern, Gudra, the non-poison kind, and Dragalge. They are high level, but Mightyena is too good at his job. North 1 and its Dragon Tamers grants us another 92,232. Quick 20-minute adventure. Also, the Pokemon League rep for this area gives us the TM for Stone Edge, and I certainly did not forget about this. Just south is North Area 2 and has even fewer trainers than the previous area. We're back to just 1 BLT per area, the second unhinged trainer, Alexia the Bottle, who speaks like this. And interestingly enough, is the first and maybe only regular trainer with more than 3 Pokemon. But don't you dare think it's a full team. Rocking all the Pokemon that would get you put on a list, Salazzle, Gothiel, Frostmoth, and Serena, she's not too difficult to defeat, but she certainly is unique. And before I forget, allegedly, the Pokemon League rep for North Area 2 gives us the TM for Outrage. Our last Team Star member is Aerie, the Fighting-type wielder, and she resides here in a gauntlet-style mountain climb using almost a full team. Aerie rocks Toxicroak, Passimian, Annihilate, Lucario, and the horse they rode in on, Revavroom. I use everybody in this fight just to knock the dust off my balls, Pokeballs of course, although Mightyena faints, Rapska and Goldango make short work of the rest of Aerie's team, giving us our last Team Star badge and rounding out North Area 2 with an additional 65,432. Oh, that's weird. Also 20k in beat-em-up bucks. There are also 4 folks who hang out in the ocean, 1 in each part of the Paldean Sea, north, south, east, and west. So I guess I'll include those here. They all vary wildly in level, accessibility, money earned, and the ability to hotwire a car, but do grant us another 25,272 blah 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 money. And now the lake! I always save the best for last when it comes to these challenges, and Lake Casaroya, and also the Sakurat Trail, are my dessert after eating dirt for the past 60 hours. It's still dirt, but it's dirt at 60 FPS. Back to the casual 2 BLTs per area, 1 a student named Vicente and his Gengar, Barraskewda, and Braviary, and my favorite trainer, not technically in the lake, but will lump Sakurat Trail into the lake area as well. Mushroom, Mushroom, Badger, 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 Irma the Cook, and her team of literally all mushrooms, Breloom, Toadscruel, and Amoonguss, are phenomenal, on brand, and not all that difficult to beat. Dondozo, the large fellow, and Tatsugiri, the less large fellow, the Tag Team Titans fight is also here, and they still don't give us any money. The 2 BLTs and the rest of the trainers give us the last chunk of cash, 150,584, and that's it for the Paldean regions. But we're not quite done yet. As you can see, there's still a good chunk left in the video. Our very first hurdle to the beginning of the endgame is a guy we met way back at the start of our journey, Paco the Cabbie, and if we can't beat him now, we sure ain't beating anything past him. We in fact can beat him now. So long, Paco. Thanks for the memories of me losing a blind Nuzlocke to you, ass clown. Next up, the Elite Four, and I really wanted to give everyone a shot here. Rika and Poppy are first up and second. Rika's team, all Earth, and consisting of Whiscash, Camerupt, Donphan, Dugtrio, and a Terrid Clodsire. And Poppy with her Steel-type team of Copperaja, Magnezone, Bronzong, Corviknight, and a Terrid Tinkaton. Against Rika, it really struck me that I wanted to use all of my team. I mean, hey, they're all good as gold in their own right. Rapska does the heavy lifting, Kricketune Delala Whoops, and we finish off Rika with Mightyena. For Poppy, what I did was pull the old use my best dude and press the A button strat, and it was wildly effective. Elite Four members 3 and 4 are Larry, oh my god, and Hassel respectively. Larry's back in town and using flying types these days with Tropius, Staraptor, Altaria, Oricorio, and Flamigo, who gets a lovely set of We All Float down here. I initially start out with Rapska but take an early KO and pull my revised strategy to the one we used against Poppy, the old let one of your Pokemon faint so it doesn't get XP for the fight like a dumbass and then use your best dude and press the A button strat. Rolls off the tongue but not quite as effective. Hassel's team consists of all dragon types being Noivern, Dragalge, Flapple, Haxorus, and Backstreet's Baxcalibur. Alright, calm it down. I actually, for realsies, use other Pokemon besides Best Dude, and it went surprisingly well. We lose Rapska again to a Glive Rush, but due to Glive Rush nasty little side effect, Kricketune comes out, gets Terrid, and one-shots with Egg Scizor, like a gentleman delelele whoop. And then there was Champion Gita. This fight felt like it did the very first time I ever picked up Pokemon Violet. That is to say, it was a fucking cakewalk. Gita's team is woefully underpowered for a champion. Can it handle a team of Sunkern? Sure. But my Golden Boys destroyed her every single time. In fact, the only thing that didn't get OHKO'd was King Gambit. And I'm not the only person complaining about this. Smart people, people with degrees, people on Reddit. Yeah, those people think she's underwhelming too. Anyways, this gauntlet wraps up our pre-finale quest lines pretty well. A final fight with Nemona to finish her line, Arven to round out the Titans quest line, and somebody should probably arrest Penny. The Elite Four, Champion Gita, and Paco, also give us another 148,592 Poké-Dollars. And after that gauntlet, here is one more. We're closing out the big 3 quests all at the same time with these last 4 fights. Arven, Nemona, Penny, and Clive, a quartet better crafted one could not find. Oh, that almost rhymed. Oh gosh, that did too. These battles are all major showstoppers in a bad Pokemon Challenge run, but aren't at all bad here. And I would really like to dive deeper into them, but I mean, we're closing in on an hour, so we're just going to have to scoot on by with this one. Arven, Penny, and Clive give us another 82,280 because Nemona doesn't give us a dime for beating her for the final time. Penny does, the leader of Team Star, the one that Team Star is led by, the Team Star that gives us no money ever gives us money this time. Nemona? Nah, can't afford that on a champion's salary. Beating the 3 quest lines and the final battle with Nemona unlocks the final area of the game, Area 0, and would you believe that we don't earn a single dollar more until the end of the game? We got them all, and Penny of all humans was the last person to give us any money. Though I do find a shiny Gibble, and I'm pretty sure it lived. This is Professor Seda, and I know you know who this is. I've seen your search history. I'm in your walls. She gives no money, and neither does her dinosaur, though that part makes sense at least. Like, the game doesn't end after this fight. It'd be okay to give me money. And at this point in 2026, this is no longer the newest Pokemon game, and I wouldn't necessarily mind showing the battle. Typically, I skip it because spoilers, and, you know, I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't played the game. But my spoiler for this is that it gives no money, and it's just extra time spent in the video editing as well as wasting yours. So I feel justified just kind of skipping to the end-game credits. Anyways, yeah, the credits roll and the video is done, right? Don't look at the bar down there. So, we've still got work to do, and I'm not talking about downloadable content. A ton of content unlocks right when you see the credit sequence for the first time. Immediately important is that several Pokemon spawns are added to Area 0, and we gain the ability to ride our bike. Our 5th and final team member for this video is this guy right here. Oh, no, wait. That's a Palmy I found by accident. Hang on. This guy, Sandy Shocks, I love him dearly, and he is quite possibly the derpiest looking dude and is welcome to the Golden Boys. Though Mr. Shocks III is our last on our roster for now, we may still find something in the DLCs to tickle our golden fancy. That sounds weird. Anywho, after hunting this thing for half a day, we can start the actual content. Upon finishment of the ending credits, Geeta voluntold us to do her job and check how unshitty her gym leaders have gotten. Yeah, we're sent on another quest to battle all 8 gym leaders one more time, but this time it's unofficial and they have completely stacked teams. But our team, fresh out of the endgame and having bested every single trainer in the Paldea region, is pretty stacked as well. We'll rematch Katie and Brassius first, as it seemed to fit thematically. Katie's Thimble, Tarantula, and Teddy Ursa have all evolved to Low Kick, Spidops, and Ursa Ring, and she's added a Fortress and Heracross as well. Brassius' team has also gotten reasonably stronger, Petalil to Lilligant, Smoliv to Arboliva, as well as adding a Sarina and Breloom. Yeah, Sudowoodo is still there. Sudowoodo needs an evolution, I feel. It's a little underwhelming at this point in the game. Iono and Kofu will feed our 3rd and 4th slot rematches. Iono's team is also improved, with her Wattrel and Luxio evolving into Kilowattrel and Luxray. Her Bellabolt and Mismagius make a return, and she straight up has a bomb now. Okay. Kofu kept his original 3, Veluza, Wugtrio, and Crabominable unchanged, but, well, I mean, they're a much higher level, and also adds a Pelipper and Clowitzer. How very exciting. Larry and Rhyme are rematches 5 and 6, with Tulip and Grusha being 7 and 8 respectively. I decided to actually go in the intended order this time, even though all the levels are now equalized. Larry has added an Oikalone and a Braviary to his team. Oh wow, a normal flying type. That's pretty rare, bringing back his Komala, Longboy, and Staraptor. Fun fact, did you know there are 30 normal flying types? Hoo boy, good stuff, fun stuff. Interesting stuff. Rhyme's team is very similar as well, with her Banette, Mimikyu, Houndstone, and Toxtricity, and she adds a Spiritomb to her team. I love Spiritomb, but this moveset ain't it. Tulip keeps her team of Farigarath, Espathra, Gardevoir, and her Terrid Florges, and Tulip adds another physical attacker in Gallade. Finally, Grusha's team is also staying 80% the same, with his Frostmoth, Bart, Satitan, and Terrid Altaria, but also adds a Weavile, which is kinda cool. I want to point out that Bug Buddy and Bart don't even have 4 moves in the rematch of the 8th Gym Leader. Questionable design choices aside, the Gym Leader's rematch gauntlet was even more lucrative than battling them the first time, netting us another 190,080 Pokédollars. And then Geeta gives us a pop quiz, which I didn't study for, but we ace that, and she grants us a King's Rock as our last Pokemon League rep item. Speaking of Geeta, the eagle-eyed among you may notice that she mentioned a tournament. The Academy Ace tournament, to be precise. This is a repeatable tournament. As many times as you like, you can rebattle a revolving list of trainers. For each AAT, you'll battle 3 regular trainers from a list of Arvin, Penny, Jacques, the biology teacher, Dendra, the battle studies teacher, the home ec teacher, Saguaro, Salvatore, the language teacher, Time, the math teacher and sister to Rhyme, Miriam, the nurse, and Ryfort, who teaches history. And then you'll fight one champion from a list of Nemona, Hassel, Geeta, and Director Clavel. I technically need to battle one of each of these folks, but it's all RNG. You could really get unlucky and have to battle dozens of times to get one specific trainer battle. Not like that. That would happen to anybody, right? The first time you ever attempt the AAT, you will always battle Arvin, Jacques, Dendra, and Geeta in that order. Arvin rocks his standard team of Greedent, Cloyster, Scovillain, Toadscruel, Garganicle, and Mabostov, all leveled up to 67 to 68. Jacques has another pretty balanced team with his Arcanine, Lurantis, Swalot, Mudsdale, Slowbro, and Farigiraf, all level 65 to 66. Dendra has not a balanced team at all, but I love it all the more. Rocking only fighting types, her team consists of Phalanx, both the fire and water type Tauros, Medicham, Hawlucha, and Hariyama, all level 65 to 66. And Geeta makes her comeback with her standard Elite Four Saga team, Espathra, Gogoat, Veluza, Avalugg, Kingambit, and Glimora, now significantly higher level, 69 to 70. Awesome. 4 down. We'll circle back to this because we've got some familiar faces to go visit first. Team Star is now apparently being funded by the league or the school or Penny's successful side hustle because they're all back and ready for a rematch. You can re-challenge the bases for LP. We aren't going to be doing that. Or you can just go straight for the big boss in the back. All Team Star leaders are refightable as much as you'd like, but you do need to wait at least one in-game day between attempts. That technically makes this a source of infinite money, so we're going to run through these teams one time for a finite amount of income. Giacomo's team... Oh, man, I didn't say his name wrong. Giacomo's team has had some massive upgrades. His Poniard has fully grown into Kingambit. His Revavroom has been decommissioned, but newly added are Cacturne, Mabosstiff, Haunchcrow, and Crocodile. Mila's Torkoal is still around, and her buddy Charcadet has been added to her team and evolved to Armor Rouge. I think that's Armor Rouge and not Rogue, since Ceruledge is meant to be cerulean like blue. I don't know, correct me violently in the comments. Mila also brings Houndoom, Colossal, and her Arcanine. Atticus's team has also been working out, unlike my Atticus. Skuntank, Muck, and Revavroom, the non-souped-up version, are all back and revved up. New to you and me too are Dragalge and Toxapex. Ortega keeps both his bunny-shaped eggs, Azumarill and Wigglytuff, as well as Dotspun, adding Klefki and Hatterene to his roster. And Airy. Oh, Airy, they did you wrong with this. So, Airy keeps her 4 mains, Toxicroak, Passimian, Lucario, and Annihilate, of course removing the car, and adding Primeape. No, not like another Annihilate, that would be good. Primeape. Phalanx right down the mountain, Tauros on the fields, Hariyama, Hawlucha, nah, Primeape. Alright, man. The rematches of Team Star give us another 118,800 Pokédollars. Back to the Academy Ace Tournament, or the Basic Bitch Battle Brawl, as Arvin says, or whatever it was. I didn't read the book. We've already beaten Arvin, Jacques, Dendra, and of course Geeta, but still have quite a few left. So let's get started. Our second run, where the opponents can actually change, was kind, allowing us to face Rayfort, Saguaro, and the champion battle with Nemona. Rayfort's the history teacher, and her team is pretty varied. Zoroark, Seviper, Grumpig, Luminion for whatever reason, Scizor, and Gengar that she'll terrestrialize. I was trying very hard to find themes with these teachers' teams, and the only thing that stuck out to me was that this Gengar knows Fire and Sucker Punch with its base 65 attack stat. Okay. Saguaro, the home ec teacher, uses Pachirisu, Frostlass, Alomomola, Vespiquen, Gudra the non-poison type, and Hatterene. Interestingly, all of Saguaro's Pokemon are female, and 3 of them can only be female. What you doing, Saguaro? Nemona's team doesn't change besides level from the last time we fought her. Lycanroc, Gudra, Dunsparce, Orthworm, Pawmot, and Skeledirge for me, now all level 71 to 72. 3 more down from our second run-through. Running it back on our third attempt, we are graced again, knocking 3 more trainers out, Miriam, Time, and Salvatore. Miriam's team, I like to think, has something to do with healing or different types of medicinal practices. All the pieces are there with Pincurchin, Toxapex, and Electros, maybe a cold press with Glalie, aromatherapy with Sawsbuck, and melatonin with Hypno. Maybe I'm looking way too into this and her squad was chosen at random. Time is the math teacher, sister to Rhyme, and her team of Lycanroc, other Lycanroc, Dreadnought, Stonejourner, Colossal, and Garganical could not be more plainly themed. Math rocks. Salvatore has another pretty all-over-the-place team of Haunchcrow, Persian, Palisand, Glaceon, Gothitelle, and Raichu, who gets Terrid. We fight in another 2 tournaments before we spot somebody new, and it's the champion-level trainer Hassel, who uses his champion assessment team of Noivern, Flapple, Baxcalibur, Flapple, I said Flapple twice, Dragalge, and adds 1 new team member of Dragonite. And after another 2 tournaments, we finally fight our last regular trainer, Penny. And I bet you can't guess what her team consists of. Oh, did you say fucking Eevees? Well, this isn't a game show. Yes, her team of Umbreon, Copypasta, Jolteon, Flareon, Leafeon, and Sylveon, who gets Terrid, are back and are just as effective as they were back when she betrayed her old friends and lied to her new friend and stole a bunch of money from the government and hacked school property. Penny's a problem. And it is not for another 5 tournament runs that we finally get the last champion battle with Director Clavel, of all people. And the kicker is that he uses the exact same team as that Clive guy. But now they're levels 65 to 66. Peculiar stuff this is. Oranguru, Abomasnow, Poltegeist, Gyarados, Houndoom, and Meowscarada for me. That's the last unique trainer battle that exists in the base game of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And now I have a whole lot of math to do at you. Let's start with the Academy tournament section. If you've got perfect luck and you only run through the tournament 4 times for all 4 champions, and this also assumes that you roll the 9 unique non-champion trainers, all 9 unique trainers plus an additional run of 3 of them, since 4 champions means 12 regular trainers fought, you would make at least 215,456, double to 430,912 for the amulet coin shenanigans, which we will of course employ. My luck? My abysmal luck, you ask? I ran through the tournament 12 times before I finally fought every single trainer in it. The first time and then 11 additional times. My final prize money for all the fighting I did was 653,152 base pay, doubled to 1,306,304. Almost damn near all of my team was also taken to level 100. Just how much did we earn in total in the land of Paldea? From students to cab drivers, gym leaders to champions, and that mushroom girl. How many Poke kids aren't going to Poke College because of me? With every single dollar added up, we made $3,141,625. Oh, and 48k league points. It is significantly less than what we made picking up every asterisk item in Paldea, but way more than what I thought it would be. I am curious as to how the DLCs would stack up with this. Would it be more than Paldea? Would it overall be more than when we stole everything that wasn't nailed down? I guess I might just have to find that out at some point. Thanks for watching, folks. I had a blast getting the footage for this video. Not so much with the editing and cutting of this nightmare. If you liked it, feel free to stick around. I would love to have you. Till next time, though, I'm Lax.